My name is Giles Gondu, and I'm going to present the relationship between stress and headache. I'm going to go ahead and start off with if stress has a correlation with headache. And what I mean by correlation, I mean if stress has an impact at all to deal with a headache or a person having a headache. And some of the articles they use a method called ecological momentary, which is utilizing real live data and scenarios repeated times. And also they utilize both qualitative and quantitative, which is going to be the qualitative, which is going to be structure, and the quantitative as far as dealing with numbers. One article that I examined, they followed 31 personnels in a period of 21, I want to say 21 days. And these people age ranged from 14 to 18, and they were electronically recorded for 2,841 times in the year 2016. Although small, they were able to provide a significant evidence, and what I mean by small, I mean a small percentage, that showed that having a stressful school lifestyle environment does lead to a symptom known as a headache. Another article I examined went out to do the research if stress triggers a migraine. And what I mean by a migraine, I mean a component that's very similar to having a headache. So migraine, I would be affiliated into the headache category. And they went on to do the research on doing the analysis before it triggers a migraine. And they were able to do the biological process as far as a person's blood pressure could raise a temperature, raise a slight blood pressure, causing a headache for that person based on a biological stress trigger utilizing blood pressure. However, another article was not able to clearly identify if there was what you would consider a relationship between stress and headache. It wasn't enough evidence to draw out that having what you would consider a stressful moment could lead to a position or status known as a headache. Therefore, it wasn't really what you would consider a way to agree with it. However, with the evidence that was determined to have a stress on a headache, they categorized it between males and females, and they showed that males tend to relate stress to headache. And what I mean tend to relate, I mean not as much as women who would be able to relate themselves to having a headache during a stressful moment. So, in conclusion, we were able to determine if there is what you would consider a relationship between stress and headache. Although very small from the articles presented by the first two, where the personnel were monitored for 21 days and recorded, and another article examined the blood pressure through a biological science process, if stress can actually trigger a migraine or headache. It was a small percentage, and there's other articles out there that will actually debunk it, go against it, which means that there is room to actually go against the information if stress at all has anything to do with relating to a person gaining a headache. So this was my presentation on the relationship between stress and headache.